Today, we're going to give you wonderful neighborhoods and we're going to scale them for you on A to D. Now, if you're thinking to yourself as one of the locals and you're thinking, man, mine's D, just remember, you made the list. Some people, great neighborhoods, don't even make the list, but you did. And if you're moving here, we want to make sure you get all the information you need to know about some really great neighborhoods in the Olympia area that you're going to want to know about.
Now, it is our opinion, and obviously you're going to have a much different opinion depending on all the things that are important to you. And in no way are we steering you to one direction or another. We're just going to provide you with some really great information that I know that will help you if you're making a decision to move here. And by the way, we're Joe and Charity. We help people just like you every week who are considering moving to the area. So if you're thinking about moving, then go ahead and give us a call or text us on the number below. We'd love to help you out. So let's jump in.
So we're going to start in a place which I think is wonderful, up and coming, lots of opportunity, and some very good value on homes, especially for the price. The reason that it's lowest in the list is we're going to let you know about that here in a second.
But the neighborhood names are Tanglewilde and Thompson Place. So if you would look on a map and you actually don't map Olympia, map Lacey, and you're gonna see the outlines of Lacey, and then you're gonna see this little chunk of land that's kind of hovering inside of the outskirts of Lacey. And that is because it is Olympia, it's unincorporated Olympia, but it's not really connected to the rest of Olympia. So that's one of the reasons why we chose to put it in this D section, because you're kind of hovering over there.
More convoluted at moments.
Yeah, a couple of the reasons. What were one of the reasons that you put in this?
Okay, the reason I put it in there, it is up and coming, so please hear me out on this. A few years ago, it had a mushroom farm, and no one really liked it because fertilizer is necessary to grow mushrooms, and it had an aroma. So it has now gone away. The mushroom farm is no longer in the area, and what's great about that is the scent that went with it followed. And so now we're sitting in a place that's like Tanglewilde. It's got some great up and coming houses. I think it's just one of those things that's a little bit underrated, but that's good news for you, because if you're looking for an affordable house in a I think it's a great neighborhood, this is a spot for you for sure.
Yeah. Another reason I rated it a D is some of the homes are really close to the freeway, and then also really close to Martin Way, which is a really busy road that has a lot of businesses on it. So if you don't want to have freeway noise or don't want to be next to kind of more of a commercial strip mall sort of area, and this might not be the best spot for you. However, if you're looking for a really great price on lots that have a little bit bigger size to them, then this could be a spot for you.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, I've had clients that have moved here from California, and the road noise or any of those type of things doesn't even faze them. So depending where you're coming from, that might not even be a big deal to you. Me, if you know me, watched any of our videos, you realize that I want to be on top of a mountain or next to a stream, away from anybody in hundreds and hundreds of miles, because that's how I'm wired. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Northwest and the Pacific Northwest. So this probably isn't that big of a deal to you, but we just wanted you to be aware as you're making decisions.
One of the other great things about this neighborhood is they have in it the Tanglewilde Recreation Center with a swimming pool. We don't get very many swimming pools in our area. There's an occasional house that has one, but I can't really think of a neighborhood that has one. Maybe some apartment complexes, but this is pretty special to get a swimming pool. And they have all kinds of events and this big park around it and everything. So it's a really great community center if you're living in that area.
And the other thing is, it's actually really pretty close to Costco and Walmart, and there's a Target. So all of your baseline needs for just everyday life here in America, those are really close and convenient to you as well. So that's on the plus side. That's right over in Lacey, but it's very, very close, like Charity mentioned earlier, very close together.
So I was with some clients the other day who had met us through YouTube, and I was showing them properties, and I mentioned something about, well, this neighborhood is close to Costco. And the gentleman said, Joe always mentions Costco in your video, so it must be important to him. I would say Costco is more important to me than it is to Joe, but it's important usually to most people.
Yeah, but we go to Costco together. It's kind of like our Sunday morning shopping reality or Saturday shopping reality, depending on what's happened in our life. So It's one of those things we just get that it's an important thing. I don't know, I like Costco. It's got a warm place in my heart.
All right, so let's give you an example of a home that has recently sold in this neighborhood in the last year. This house was sold for $425,000. It was 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, and it was on a 1/4 of an acre. So tons of room like we were talking about before. Had some recent upgrades, and that's a great price.
I think so. And what I liked about this is you could see in the photos, it's got hardwood floors. It's got some just natural charm to it. It's a really good home in a great area that, I think the price is fantastic.
Yeah.
So that was D. And like you said, you made the list. This one happens to be just up a notch, and we're going to take a C. Now, hopefully, I want to do a lot of like a C jokes, like, hey, we're going to see you there, all the type of things. Kind of fits into my dad jokes, of which why my youngest son makes fun of me. You're welcome. The C neighborhood is one that I think you're going to want to see because it has one of the best bakeries that you need to see, and that is San Francisco Street Bakery. So we'll see you there.
This is a great neighborhood because it is close to downtown.
Yep.
You also do have some affordability. The only reason we ranked it as a C really is because for the price of square foot on the house, it's a little bit more pricey, but that's because you're close to downtown. And then it's more eclectic in this area. So if you're looking for a house that is in a neighborhood that's not quite eclectic, is more homogeneous, then this is probably not gonna be an area that you're gonna love. However, it's a great area to find a good house, a good classic house.
Walkability.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of great things. It's really, honestly, it's one of those things. Helped lots of clients in this community, and they're wonderful communities, very walkable. Like Charity's mentioned, it's close to downtown. It does have an eclectic charm. It's one of the things I love about Olympia is we're eclectic and it's charming. To me, I think that that's really great. I think it feeds a very wonderful, vibrant arts type of community that we have here. So it's great. And if that's your vibe, then this is your spot. We'll see you there.
I know that I had actually, speaking of the bakery, we'll just go on that for a little bit longer. I showed a house, cute little bungalow in this area, very quirky, very unique. And we were waiting to go see it because there was another person in there, and we were so close. We got to walk over to the San Francisco Street Bakery, and my client bought a carrot cake, and it was like well, it's not personal size when it's this big, but to me it seems like it's personal size. And he took it home and texted me later and said, that is the best carrot cake I've ever had. And he went back the next week and got it. So when we're talking about yummy stuff, you were in the
San
neighborhood.
Francisco Street Bakery's got it going on. That's what I mean. They've got it going on. Cute neighborhood, whole 9 yards.
Yep. So here's an example of a home that sold recently in this area in the last year. It was $460,000. It was 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. I toured this house with some clients. It had really a lot going on for it. It wasn't updated, but it was very classic and it has some really great classic features. It was a little over 1,400 square feet and it was on like a 1/3 of an acre. So lots of space around you, which is super great. Now this is more of a rambler style, but there are a lot of cute little bungalows in this area as well. So if that's your style, this is a good spot for you.
So now that you have seen that was such a great place to look in all of the houses, want to kind of move it up just a little bit to the B area. So we'll be seeing you at B. I could continually go on, and I probably shouldn't.
Everybody say, please don't.
Please don't. Please stop now. Oh my God, for the love of God, please. So the B area is the northwest part of Olympia. The great part about this, once again, it is close to downtown proximity, but what you're gonna find in this area is some really great waterfront views and a big diversity between what you can get as far as affordability. There are some really great values, lower priced home in the area, as well as some that are gonna go over $1 million. So we're gonna show you a little bit of that.
Another reason why we love this, besides being close to downtown and besides the variety of homes that you have, is there's some great parks in the area. Some parks that have pickleball courts and splash pads, and then also you've got a park where you can get down on the water, put your kayak in, so really convenient. Some trails as well, really convenient for all of your outdoor activities, and you're kind of sandwiched between downtown and the mall area, so really convenient for everything you need to get to in the Olympia area.
Now, we've picked out 2 homes for you to take a look at in this area, and because I wanted to show you the diversity of what you can get in this neighborhood. I love this area, and I think fondly because the very first clients I ever helped, I helped buy a house in this area, which I don't know, a little bit of a warm fuzzy.
So the first one we're going to show you is one that sold for $480,000. It's over 1,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, a 1 3/4 bath, and it's on a 1/3 of an acre lot again. I think you're getting the point that you can get some bigger lots in this area. It seems like we're showing you a lot of houses that have bigger lots. That might be just because we feel like that's important, but it's pretty great to be able to get a house under $500,000 with that size of lot.
And this one has been completely updated, as you can see. And that's really great because, you can think to yourself, holy smokes, the Northwest can be very, very expensive to live in. Now, obviously, we make a comparison to Seattle and we're 40 to 45% below Seattle's market. But here's something that's completely done, turnkey, really large lot, great area of town, and you've got it for under $500,000. I think it's pretty neat. You don't have to do a thing.
Yep, exactly. And one side note that I want to make on this is in the first one, we mentioned Tanglewilde and Thompson Place as the names of neighborhoods. Now we've been talking more about regional areas, and there are a lot of names of neighborhoods. So we chose not to name them all, just so you can get a good idea of the regional areas of Olympia and what their price points are and their pluses and minuses. So this next house we want to show you in the area sold for $685,000. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.75 baths, and this house I loved. I went and showed this house to some of my clients, and what I really liked about it is it had a unique layout. Sometimes when we say unique layout, that's a bad thing because it's unique.
It's uniquely awkward.
Yeah. But this one had a really cool layout. It was a rambler. It had all this bedrooms situated in a way that you would want them. I don't know, I just loved it. But this is a really nice area of West Olympia, and all the homes around it are kind of in this same genre of age, and some of them have been updated, some of them haven't, but this one in particular was a gem.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. What I love about this one is it does have some nice elements to it. There's some updating that's been done. It hasn't been over the top to where you can't even tell what it was originally done. Just is like, I think, a really perfect blend of those two things.
Yeah.
So we are now moving from the B to the A group. And I gotta let you know, in high school, there was not a lot of times where I got A's. So I feel really pretty good about it. This happens to be my neighborhood, and I live in an A neighborhood.
By the way, there weren't a lot of times in high school that I didn't get an A.
It's really awkward because we went to college together and that's where we met. And then I finally did get some B's.
And A's.
And A's, I did.
Okay, so back to not Joe and Charity's grades, but this A-class neighborhood. This is where we live. We love it. Of course, we're gonna give it an A. What we love about it is it's close to Olympia High School. Schools are fantastic. Our son went to the schools and did a great job. We had really great experiences with parents and teachers and coaches. And we know that everybody that lives in this area also loves these schools. So that's one of the big reasons. What was one of the reasons you picked it besides that we live here?
Well, I think its proximity to downtown, really great. Olympia High School, gonna give it a shout out. Coach Weldon on the baseball team, little shout out. You're welcome. I don't think he's ever gonna hear that, but if he did, there you go. And you can get, it has a mix of type of homes that you could get. There are some more affordable entry-level homes, which is fantastic. And they could go well up over $1 million depending on which neighborhood that you get in this area.
And you have different ages of homes too. Like we live in a 1961 home we've talked about before. We completely remodeled it. If you go on Instagram and hashtag Slawter Fixer Upper, you can see all the crazy stuff that we've lived through. But you also have homes that are currently being built. You have homes that were built in the early 2000s. You've got, like Joe said, small little homes. You've got big homes. This area we would say is like the Kane Road area if you're looking on a map, Wildwood, Governor Stevens, and then it also kind of goes over to the Capitol neighborhoods as well. But super great. And one of the biggest highlights that we love is Watershed Park is right here next to us. If you look up Watershed Park, you will find out that it's a really great park that's centrally located. It's got a stream through the bottom of it. It used to be the original source of water in Olympia. So you hike down into it and you walk around on these little bridges, and it's fantastic. We love having an area to hike that's just basically right around the corner from our house.
Another part that we like about this is the walkability. So there's a couple great pizza shops in the area, Briggs Tap House and Vic's Pizza. Both of them are fantastic. We go there often when we're eating pizza on a diet right now, so it's coming back to that. But when we do, those are our two favorite pizza places in the area. And any time of the day, you're going to find people out and about walking around. It's just such a wonderful community. We love it. Our neighbors are great.
So the first one we're going to show you is that you can find an affordable house in this neighborhood also. So $463,000 is what this one sold for. 3 bedrooms, 1.75 bath.
Yeah, it's a great little HOA community. I've actually helped a couple of my clients sell homes in this community. I don't want to say necessarily it's just the perfect ideal starter, but it is a great starter home. And also if you're considering like, hey, you're thinking about retiring and you want a one level in a nice little wonderful community, this is a great one and very, very affordable.
Yeah, very affordable. The next one you're going to tell you about is this one that sold for $705,000. And the fun thing about this one is that we saw this one when it was in terrible condition and we considered buying it to flip.
Yeah, we did. We were really, really close. We got beat out by somebody else and that happens. But they did a good job on this, and just kind of show you an example. You can find something that's been completely updated in that $700,000 price range. In this neck of the woods, there are homes that go over $1 million. We've helped clients with that as well. It just really has such a wide swath of opportunities, and it just depends on which neighborhood in this community you would like to live in and what's the most important to you. We love it, but you know, it's not the number one. It's not the number one, but it is, we think, a very, very good one.
So you were thinking that A would be the top, and in school, that is, or I guess an A+, but we are going to give you level S, which means superior, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, the very cream of the crop.
I don't know when this happened, but it happened more recently where you could get an above an A grade. That's a new experience on the report cards. That wasn't there when
It wouldn't have mattered if it was there when he was in school.
That's probably true. We picked this because this highlights what you can get at the top of the Olympia area. And there's 2 points. One of them is Boston Harbor and the other one is Cooper Point. Now, the first house we're going to show you, to me, this is amazing that somebody bought this house for $1.8 million because it is right on the water. It is absolutely beautiful home. I really was sad that somebody else bought this because I was hoping to chop off one of my legs and donate my liver to get this home for some extra down payment.
How do you chop off your leg and donate your liver?
Well, my liver,
too?
Yeah, my liver, they said, looked a lot like a whiskey bottle. So that was just, that's not true. But so that's what happened. But somebody got absolute amazing home on the water for $1.8 million, which
yes,
blows my mind, because you couldn't get this in Seattle or anywhere up there for under $3 or $4 million bucks, at least, maybe 5, 6. It's amazing piece of property.
Yeah, and we're gonna show you that in a minute. But first, we're gonna tell you a little bit more about these neighborhoods. Joe just got really excited to chop off his arm. So Boston Harbor area, we love. It's on one of the points, and you drive all the way along the water, you go out through some rural areas, and then you land at what looks like a tiny little town at the point. And this little neighborhood is so charming. And almost every house has a view of the water. Some are actually on the water, like the one that Joe was talking about. It's got a marina. They have events that they have out there for the community. It is like, if you want to feel like you're part of a small little tight-knit community and you want to be on the water, it's fantastic. And on top of that, you're close to Burfoot Park, which is one of our favorite parks. It's got a nice walk down to the beach. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. There's everything about it I love. And like I said, I'm glad I have both of my legs and my liver. But this is a great place to consider living in for sure.
And then Cooper Point area, if you look on a map, you're going to see that it's another point, and a lot of it on the way up is called Cooper Point, and there's a lot of neighborhoods off of that. It's also part of West Olympia. But when you get over to the water, then you're going to get some really beautiful waterfront homes, as well as home that we're going to show you in the neighborhood that is not on the water, but it is in a fantastic neighborhood.
So the first one, let's take a look at it, the one here in the Boston Harbor area, and it's on the water. Like I said, it's perfectly landscaped yard. It's on the water. It's very close to Boston Harbor and the marina. So if you got a boat and that's the type of lifestyle you want, there you have it. Or you've got your own access to the water right there, and you don't need the harbor and you don't need the marina.
This one was over 3,500 square feet, not huge, but what you get is what you see here in these photos. Beautiful waterfront, and the inside is very northwest. It's not a new home per se, but it is very northwest modern looking, and I could just sit there all day and look at the water.
Yes, it would hard to get any work done between kayaking, considering going fishing, as well as just vegging out, staring at the ocean.
Yeah. Now let's show you the one in Cooper Point. So this one is in a neighborhood that is amazing. If there was a top neighborhood that we could say just one in this area besides all the waterfront homes, it would be this one. So this one's in a neighborhood called the Reserve, and it is beautiful. The lots are huge. By huge, I mean around an acre or over an acre. And every house is very large. Every house is unique. There are none that look the same. All of them are built to the highest standards, and the last one that I sold in this neighborhood had an elevator in it, which isn't usually necessary, but it was helpful when you're moving things up and down the stairs. In these homes, there are usually bonus rooms and game rooms and theater rooms and beautiful floor-to-ceiling fireplaces and amazingly landscaped yards and great outdoor spaces, great indoor spaces.
This one in particular is 1.3 million with 4,200 square feet. And I showed this to some clients of mine. It wasn't the house for them. They had a couple other things that they were looking for, but I've got to tell you, this is a house for anybody that wants a really wonderful neighborhood, brilliantly crafted, a lot of space. And like Charity was mentioning, some of the homes in this area have elevators. So when you do age and you're thinking up and down stairs might be a little difficult, that's already taken care of. So this could be your forever home.
Yeah, for sure. Now, as you can tell, these definitely deserve the S status. The superior or supercalifragilisticexpialidocious scale standard. We hope you've enjoyed learning more about these neighborhoods all throughout Olympia. And if you're thinking that one of these seems like a good fit for you, or you may want to just explore a little bit more, go ahead and reach out to us. Our phone number is listed below. Feel free to call or text us. And if you enjoyed this video, keep watching because here comes another one.